Hello everyone. I wanted to actually share quick thoughts on the idea of stewardship versus ownership. And first let me give you a little background on what kind of spurred this on. First of all, I was actually been spending a lot of time at one of the local state parks, or actually it's a federal park here in Pensacola, and I was talking to one of the overseers, and he was talking about how the volunteers would stay on for a maximum of 3 months so that they don't start to take on a sense of ownership of the park, because they're actually living there and they're volunteering there, which makes sense. And I think that that's important, because the last thing you want is someone to be feeling like, well, this is my place of, I've been here for 10 years, and then they start kind of getting in the way of anything, or they start it ceases to become public and becomes more private. And I think that businesses tend to encourage individuals to take a sense of ownership of the work that they do, while at the same time really discouraging it overall by their attitude. So they encourage it with their words, they discourage it with their attitude and their actions. And I think that this is done because you want your employees to, the idea of getting your employees to take ownership of something is fairly basic. It means that you don't have to be as responsible for it. They take responsibility for it. They take pride in it, and things like that. Ownership, however, means that you have a say in what is done and how it's done and to what extent it's done and when it's done. And I don't think that business owners and management want employees to actually have ownership of anything. I think that they would rather retain that ownership. I think what they want is for someone to take stewardship of something, and I think stewardship is not nearly as much of a buzz term. We're not as excited to be a steward of something. Just in case you can't see my eyes, I'm actually watching the road while I'm doing this video, just for your so that you're not freaking out, wondering if I'm going to have a crash because I'm talking. Anyways, so going back to the idea of stewardship. With that sense of stewardship, it is a lower position than ownership. You really don't have as much say as if you were an owner. However, if you look at what we as humans have, we really don't have ownership of the earth. We're not owners of the earth. We are stewards of the earth, and I think that we try to take ownership of the earth. And I think we try to usurp ownership and take over ownership, as opposed to when we really only have the authority for stewardship. And by the way, I want to do a whole nother video on authority. But when we try to take that extra step beyond stewardship, we end up finding a lot of friction and conflict because of it, because we're really not supposed to have ownership of it. We're merely supposed to be stewards. And if we can't say, this is our boundary to which I want to go, then you're really gonna resent the fact that you have that pushback from not being able to take ownership. When you say, if I am a steward, it means that I'm a good steward. It allows you to actually do it properly. If you want to say, I want to be an owner, but you can't actually be an owner because someone else is already the owner, and therefore you don't have, you're not fully vested in ownership, then you're going to be frustrated. However, if you say, ooh, this is actually good, because this ties into a lot of other points that I've been thinking about. If you say, I want to be a good steward, you'll find contentment, because you can actually be a good steward, because it means that you are there to serve, which is, I think, the reason that we are here on this earth, is to serve a higher purpose. And it is my belief that that higher purpose is to serve our Creator. However, I think we see that sense of accomplishment and peace and just satisfaction when we serve others, when we can learn how to serve others. So I hope this video gives you some thoughts. It's a thought-provoking video. I've come to learn in my time, both listening to videos and audios and things like that if you try to present things or find things in their most complete form, it doesn't give you an opportunity to really make your own opinions because everything's too laid out. So in this very amateur style, I hope that it's been thought-provoking and that you can be able to at least grasp the general ideas and also take those ideas and run with them. God bless and take care.